Hello all, welcome back. It's another episode and a new season is upon us. We're back in the Premier League. Who's excited for another season of me getting battered week in, week out again? Maybe I should have just ended the series last episode so I don't have to go through the embarrassment of being bottom of the league again. In the last episode, we secured both promotion and the title with a 2-1 win over Stoke and a 4-0 win on the final day against Millwall. And I went up as the champion. That's the first and probably only ever time we're going to hear that. But a lot of changes was needed to the squad in order to compete in the Premier League. And, well, pre-season was pretty interesting. Our first bit of transfer business was that Matthijs Jorgensen has extended his contract for another 3 years at the club. A fantastic centre-back, that's all I'm going to say. Does his job, goes home. I don't know what he does at home. Maybe he hoovers. He does something at home, like someone could tell me. Steve Mounier has also extended his contract for another 4 years, so his career is definitely going to go downhill between now and 2024. The end of the season award ceremony was held, and Callum Hudson-Odoi got Fans Player of the Season. Ollie Burke also got signing of the season, despite the fact he joined on deadline day in January. Says a lot about my summer transfers then. In the playoff final in the Championship, Cardiff managed to overcome Brentford in the final, and they also beat Stoke in the semi-finals. So I cost Stoke promotion, and then they lost in the playoffs as well. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say the phrase. Callum Hudson-Odoi also cleaned up in the award ceremony as he was named in Player of the Year and also Young Player of the Year. And also I got Manager of the Year, but I don't want to make it all about myself really. Although I am the best manager that's ever managed Huddersfield Town now. 4 of my players also made Team of the Season, including Elias Kuchunga, who didn't really play that much towards the end of the season. So unsure how he made it into the squad. I was asked about where to take the team on a pre-season training camp, and I looked at the options and there were some very nice options there. You know, Ireland, Holland, France, Switzerland. So I decided to take the team to Yorkshire in the Humber. There's no way they're going to get any joy in Yorkshire. I mean, has anyone ever been there? I wouldn't live there. Chris Brunt has also said he's going to retire at the end of the 2020-2021 season. I did ask him if he would reconsider his retirement. He said no. I feel like I didn't make a very convincing argument for that. I was also linked with the Everton job because it's now become vacant, but I dismissed the rumours because I only manage big clubs on this series. Crystal Palace offered me a job interview as well, but I'm going to turn that down because it's not attempting to get the Crystal Palace job, it's attempting not to get sacked. That wouldn't make sense if I just moved clubs. We've also taken up the option to extend Callum Hudson-Odoi's loan for next season as well. And the greatest news I can ever give any of the Huddersfield fans out there, and myself, is that Ben Gibson has gone to Norwich City for 18.5 million. Fucking brilliant! Amazing! Yeah! I've really pulled their pants down there. I decided to say one more comment to Ben Gibson because he has been a shit player for us this year, and I couldn't find the option to tell him that. And then when I said, oh, you've had too much of a negative effect on players in the squad, he replied to me, I never once saw evidence of that. I think the episodes between 12 and 18 could probably show you evidence of that, Ben. So the Premier League fixtures have been released, and we got a pretty easy run in the first 5 games. Leicester away, Palace at home, Everton away, Brighton at home, and Norwich away. I mean, 15 points, really, is a minimum expectation. I also forgot to mention last season that we hired Dennis Bergkamp as a coach, and the reason I hired him is because he's got international experience, he knows the Premier League, he's played for Arsenal. I've got no other options than that. He scored a goal once, which made a commentator orgasm. So one of my youth players, Ramoni Critchlow-Noble, that is a really difficult name to say. I bet he votes Tory. He told me he was very grateful to return to Huddersfield because his loan spell at Blythe was awful. Like, he just couldn't hack it. He left the next day, so clearly wasn't happy to return to Huddersfield then. We also made a bid for Joe Linton because someone in the comments, I'm not going to name who, keeps asking me to buy him. He wanted too many wages, it collapsed. We're not signing him. Colin Quainer has also left the club to join Norwich for 9.25 million. I mean, Norwich came up with us and they want to sign all our players. Are they sure they want to get relegated next year? And in probably one of the biggest results in Milan's history, they only lost 1-0 to us. Away from home. It's a European masterclass by Chris Proud again. But anyway, let's talk about the transfers I've made during the summer in order to strengthen the side for our Premier League campaign coming up. Our striking options needed improvement. Neil Mopai joins us from Brentford for 11.5 million. A very good striker. He scored 23 goals in the Championship last year, so a good signing. Marcus Llorente joins us from Manchester United for 12.5 million. He plays defensive midfield and he's going to be our deep line playmaker for the season. Angel Gomez joins us from Manchester United on loan for the season. We didn't need a backup number 10 for Nick Powell, so he comes in, slots in there. We move into another midfielder, and John McGinn joins us from Aston Villa for £8.5 million. He had a very good season last year, got 11 assists in the Championship, and I thought we need someone like him in the team. Moving on, we move into our defensive options, and Ryan Fredericks joins us from Leicester City for £3 million. He's going to be our backup right back this year, because Tommy Smith is the only right back we really had in the squad. And onto the left side, Paul Dummett joins us from Newcastle United for £4.1 million. Only had one left back as well, so I had to get a new replacement in. We decided to strengthen our wingers, and Eros Agresta joins us from Rangers. He had a very good season last year, got 15 goals in the SPL, so we might as well splash the cash on him. And finally, Chancel Mbemba joined us on loan for the rest of the season on deadline day from Porto, because I have no fourth choice centre back now because Ben Gibson's pissed off to Norwich. And those signings must have had a great effect on the squad, because we ended up smashing Roma 6-2 in the friendly just before we took on Leicester.
I mean, what the hell is going on?
Starting off with our first game of the season away at Leicester City, and this is the team I've picked to play them. Dean Henderson keeps his place in goal. He is our number 1 this year. He will definitely be playing most of the games. Tommy Smith, Cher, Jorgensen and Regulon keep their places from the Championship winning team. We do have 2 new debutants in midfield, and Marcus Llorente partners John McGinn in defensive midfield. While Nick Powell, Hudson-Odoi, Ollie Burke and Steve Mounier are our front 4. I do also have 5 new signings on the bench as well, and I will use them if we're losing, which we most probably will be. Also, I hope you like the new team sheet. I think it looks a lot cleaner, don't you? Also, shout out to my boy Tom. His links are in the description below for these Premier League graphics that he created for Football Manager. So even if you can't create the graphics that I create in the video, at least you can have Premier League style graphics in your game. The links are in the description below, as I said. Make sure you go check him out. Great guy, absolutely wonderful person. He is so hardworking, and I mean, look how amazing it is. It's just amazing. It's like I'm watching an actual Premier League game. I mean, I am, because we are in the Premier League, but it's like an actual game. Well, Leicester City finished 17th last year in the league, and they only just avoided relegation by 3 points, so this is probably one of the easier games we're going to play this year. It sounds weird saying that, it's Leicester City. I mean, they got Premier League quality all over the pitch. I've spent $11.5 million on a striker who's got 23 goals in the Championship. I don't think he's Premier League standard yet, although he has scored in the Premier League in real life, so I'm probably being a bit harsh on Neil Maupay. The first highlight of the game, unsurprisingly, was a free kick, and James Maddison put it over the bar. I mean, I would have backed him to score it. Why am I even saying that? Like, I'm managing the other team. And it wouldn't be a Proudy episode unless we were drawing 0-0 at half time. Which we were. And Leicester City was still stronger than us, as Callum Chambers' cross found Kelechi Iheanacho at the back post, and his shot was well saved by Dean Henderson. And then Ben Chilwell's cross found Harvey Barnes at the back post, and his shot hit the post, or hit Henderson, and then Kelechi Iheanacho hit the post. I mean, do Leicester just want to score now and get this over and done with? And then speaking of the devil, Ben Chilwell played a long ball over the top of our defence for Jamie Vardy to run through, and he slotted it past Dean Henderson. It was coming. It was coming. There's nothing I could do about it. Except maybe sign some better defenders. And just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, James Maddison's free kick found Sergio Alvarez in the box, and Dean Henderson just allowed the ball to go past him. I mean, what the hell is he doing? And that was it. We lost 2-0 on the first day of the season. Why do I bother? Why do I bother with this? Like, why did I bother getting promoted again? Well, I'll see you next episode, where I'll most likely be bottom of the league again.
Let me squeeze. They tryna be crack. They tryna be crack. She wanted me cut it. That bitch is a baby. I'm a fucking house. I'm a 7.